What's up? Oh, you got your book? Kyle's holding his Future of Automotive Retail book. I didn't get mine yet. But today we're talking about a dealership doctor. Yes, free streaming in Walmart Plus and Apple getting back to work at the place, at the big spaceship place.
That's the sound that I get. It's like
you walk up, kind of like the sound that Tesla makes when it's backing up. That weird alien sound. Yo, I mean, I really want to go to that Apple spaceship office.
It's really, really cool.
It's so weird to think that thing's been like so empty for so long.
It really has. Yeah. Can you imagine like having all of that wonderful park space in the middle and it's just like out there in the middle of nowhere?
Dude, the maintenance staff was loving life for the last 2 years.
They're like, everything's so clean.
Just driving around in probably pretty freaking awesome Apple go-karts or something.
Like the maintenance staff was like,
oh, yeah.
Turning corners.
Yes. Having races in the hallways, like whatever was going on in there. It was awesome.
Yeah,
it was awesome. Well, it's an awesome Tuesday. We're getting geared up. Tomorrow is pack up day, so we can go to Philly on Thursday to make sure everything's buttoned up, ready to go for ASOTU Con, checking the venue, checking the AV and the signage. We're going to record a bunch more podcasts. Our boy Michael Cirillo is flying into Philly so we can sit and record more episodes of our Auto Collabs podcast. We've been releasing literally a 30-minute episode every day for like the last 2 weeks, and we have like 50 more.
Yeah, we might start going to 2 to 3 a day. So watch out.
Don't break that internet. Break that internet. Oh, what else is going on? Today's episode is who? Brian Kramer?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, always good. And
good.
And the title of it is one of my favorites. It's Hello from the Other Side. Because every once in a while, you just got to drop a song lyric as a podcast title.
It is. Right? Well, I mean, Brian Kramer recently made the switch from dealer side to vendor side, which gives him this very slim window, and he's still in it, of objectivity, right? That's what I tell anyone when they start a new job somewhere. I'm like, you have a gift you're bringing to us right now, and that's objectivity. It's going to be gone in like 90 days, right? Exactly. So tell us everything as you see it. Right now, it's the most valuable time. Yeah, amazing interview. It's going to live stream noon, live streaming on LinkedIn Live, YouTube Live, Facebook Live. And by the way, if you haven't followed our page on LinkedIn, you should. Follow the ASOTU page on LinkedIn. More and more great content and conversation, more than anything, happening there. And also, it's easy to catch live streams and the morning show. And that's kind of the center point of where the community's getting together on social, but try to make it easy everywhere else as well, because we love all of our platform friends.
There we go. Hey, speaking of LinkedIn real quick, and this isn't in the show notes, but the show notes.
That was like real Southern California. This isn't in like the show notes, dude.
Look at this. What caught my throat there? Yeah, in the show notes. But I really encourage everyone to head to Steve Greenfield's LinkedIn profile right now. If you get the daily email, it's linked up in there. If you don't get the daily email, you can find it on the website. Just find your way to Steve Greenfield's profile, because he did a bit of a recap and looked through all of, if you don't know, the FTC has proposed a bunch of new guidelines that massively impact dealers coming in December, and there's a comment period that allows for people to comment on what is necessary, whether they agree completely or whether there should be some pushback and some more time thought about these things. And it kind of blew my mind, and I was convicted, as well as I want to just call dealers to putting in your comments on what should or should not happen with these FTC guidelines, because if there's only 1,600 comments right now, only 12 of them have any level of reservation attached.
12 out of 1,600.
So,
and go ahead.
I'm like, 5,000 dealers should be on there going, we've got a couple reservations.
Yeah. And just even from a consumer standpoint, like, do you really think that that's going to make it better when all of a sudden the FTC is determining what brings value to a customer contract? I'm like, how are they going to be the arbiter of value? Like, they even talk, I saw a few things mentioned in that. Even they mentioned like nitrogen in your tires. Now, let's face it. Nitrogen in your tires doesn't have a substantial and massive impact on your driving experience, but it does have an impact on your driving experience, because your tire, especially up here in the cold weather climates, I'll just share this for people who don't understand what that's like. In the wintertime, your tires lose air because what happens to air compression, and nitrogen is bigger than oxygen and it doesn't get out. So that's a value to me when my tires are the proper air pressure in the winter. But either way, them deciding what has value to someone. Look, sometimes VIN etching brings someone value just because it brings you peace of mind. How many things do you buy that just bring you peace of mind? So I don't want.
If you're in the marketing ecosystem or the data ecosystem, there are things in there like keeping all customer communications for 2 years on file, keeping every single marketing piece that is attached to the dealership, including salesperson communications on social media that are attached to vehicle advertising, has to
Whoa,
be on record
I didn't know that.
in your so like
Good
if a
grief.
salesperson posts a car with a price in it, you have to know about that and keep record of it in a digital file system.
Wow.
Like
Wow. So look, we're not saying that some of the things that propose in the bills are all bad, right? We need
Right.
accountability. We need transparency. We're
Without a doubt.
pro all of those things. But what we're saying is like, slow your roll. Like we need more discussion. We need more feedback. We need to make sure it's right as can be the first time through, not jamming it through. So all that to say, I don't see a link in the show notes right now.
I don't think we'll get it in the show notes. If you get the podcast, we'll probably share it out on our social profiles today. So keep an eye out.
Yes.
We just want
back to LinkedIn, right? If you're not only
yeah.
following LinkedIn, we're definitely going to post there. Kyle and I, after the show is done, we're going to go to the website, post our comments in there. So that 11 will become 13. And then hopefully like 10,000 of you will follow. And then we'll have 10,000 comments that are be like, hold the phone, just slow it down for a second. Yeah. So that kind of like got in front of everything. Kyle was like, yo, I just saw this. We need to put this at the beginning of the show today. So it's there. Let's go, ASOTU community. Kyle said to me on the phone, he goes, this is exactly why we do what we do.
Right now, right
exactly here. Why we do what we do. So let's band together, right? Let's band together and push back a little bit on this and just let's get a little bit more measured about the way we're moving forward with this. But again, don't be confused. We're pro accountability. We're pro transparency because there are some bad practices out there that give all of us a really bad name, and we need to cut those off at the knees. Yep. All right, let's get into some news that we had planned to talk about. One Florida dealership is providing some very special healthcare services, including a doctor who actually sees patients in the dealership twice a week at the store.
I love it.
This is so good. I love this. After a 35% rate increase in health insurance premiums in 2019, Greg Belasco, owner of Lakeland Auto Mall, they sell Hyundai, Ford, and Genesis. They had enough and began looking for other solutions. Here's a quote from him from the Great Automotive News article. He said, there were sheer frustration over lack of quality healthcare and continual increase in expenses for me and our employees every year. Can we get an amen from anyone who has health insurance? He said, now we're managing our own healthcare ourselves instead of allowing big companies to do it. And we're also taking advantage of the employee-employer relationship. Just so beautiful.
It's so smart. Well, here's what I love about this is that, when you do, if you know anything about healthcare, the thing that happens is there's a census taken. And in that census includes a lot about just the general health of the population of your employees. And so even just the fact that there's a proactivity toward general health, right?
Yeah.
Even if you're not sick, that a doctor is available for you to make sure that general health is taken care of, can actually reduce expenses over time because you have a more healthy population. This is why a lot of employers do things like gym memberships or, incentivize walking and like, there's been people that have like linked up to Fitbit apps and things like that in this. And so bringing that even closer to home and saying, hey, look, if we get everything closer to you, then it means that you can stay healthier, that we can provide better access to healthcare to you. It's so smart. And then it's branded and things stay sticky. And it's another thing that increases retention because it's, that your employer cares. There's like the list goes on and on. I love what's happening. And also I used to live like 5 minutes from Lakeland and know exactly where this is at.
My sister literally just moved to Lakeland.
Really?
Like last month. Look at that. We're all up in there. I mean, it's super cool. One of the things that I love is that it just makes the healthcare real accessible. Like this is their doctor, right? Yeah. They can call, text, see him, like no appointments, no waiting. And also a lot of the things because they work with who's the name of their consultant? Health Rosetta, to find a self-managed healthcare plan and kind of consult them through that. They are like no deductibles for these visits, no premiums for medical, like durable medical equipment. Like there's so many price and cost savings. It's ridiculous. And the dealership logo is on their health card, which is so boss. I love that.
Unbelievable.
Even the doctor is happy. They call him the dealership doctor. Dr. Christopher Salud said in an interview with ABC in Tampa that he enjoys spending more quality time with few patients because it gets back to practicing medicine the way he envisioned it when he got into the practice. So it's fulfilling for him too. You know, there's one word that's coming to mind, Kyle. It's going to be a buzzword, but community.
There it is.
Right? It's real community happening. And if you want a little, insight into the size of the store, they do sell, they sold 5,200 cars last year. So you can kind of do the math and realize about where they are. So, hey, if they did it and you're in that same size, it's a high chance you could do something with that too. But I bet that also has something to do with their turnover rate. Probably
if I had better to guess,
than average.
Probably run a story adjacent to this that talked exactly about how that was working for them.
Absolutely, we should reach out to them. Maybe we will. Maybe we'll reach out, see how it's going. All right. What else we got? What else we got?
We got Walmart. Look. Walmart's like a sleeper to me. Every time I see or hear something about them, it's like, wait, they do what?
Yeah, don't count them out.
You just can't
got a
count
couple
them out.
locations.
And so now they've taken and gone, okay, so we have Walmart Plus, which is a $98 per year subscription, slightly less than Amazon Prime, although it's, Amazon Prime used to be that same price point. Walmart just hasn't changed since they initiated. It comes with things like free shipping, gas discounts, 6 months of Spotify Premium. So they're having to aggregate resources from other places like Spotify. And their recent aggregation is a deal with Paramount Plus. So if you know about that, it's a streaming platform that has a whole bunch of interesting content on it. I'm gonna call it, right? I mean,
I did go look at the roster. I'm like, what's on Paramount Plus these days, right? And they do have like a lot of kids contents. I did see a new show that they created with Owen Wilson as a superhero, which was like, Owen Wilson superhero could be okay. Yeah. I mean, if you're into Beavis and Butthead, Paramount's got your back. But also, like, if you got kids, you got Paw Patrol. So an interesting mix. I think you used the right word.
Yeah, it's an interesting mix, and I think it adds to their overall, what they can provide people, and we're starting to see this. It's interesting. Like even your Comcast has now free offerings to streaming platforms. Like Comcast gives you Peacock, right? Which is a really weird thing to me, where your subscription to one thing gives you access to a subscription level of another thing. And
everyone's
so Walmart,
trying to squat up, right? Like
exactly. Where Amazon is like, we're going to own the ecosystem. Everyone else is going, we see that ecosystem is important, but we don't have the leverage or the resources or the people to go create an ecosystem, as well as I think a brand, right? If Walmart was like, we have a streaming service, everyone would be like, I don't know about that, right? But if you bring Paramount Plus on, maybe there's a value add there. So
maybe like some of the movies, or at least there's something, right? There's something. I today in two different places, Apple and their One subscription, they're pushing hard.
Yes,
I was on Wall Street Journal this morning, full header ad, and then I opened an email newsletter at Walmart, trying to band together all of their like unique offerings, like iCloud, including like iCloud, Apple Music, Apple Fitness, Apple Video Arcade, Apple Plus, TV Plus, or whatever it is.
What's crazy? So I moved to Apple One when they first initiated it, and it's weird because I think everyone has a ton of these like $7 to $15 to $20 things floating around, and we use iCloud for our family, so all of our stuff from our computers and phones go up, and we also like Apple TV. Well, I don't use Apple Fitness, Arcade, Books, News, any of those, but the other two had enough value in me to do all of them. And I think a lot of people are getting a lot of fatigue out of that. So I wonder how much Walmart is getting from a value perspective for their people, because it's just impossible to go and assume all of that value as a user on each of these different platforms.
It's starting to feel, what it's starting to feel like, a cable bundle. Where you get
your own cable bundle.
You get all the stuff where you're like, look, I don't want all this crap. I'm never going to watch that channel. I'm never going to do that. But I guess if I have to have it, right?
It's like those cable companies were onto something.
It's going right back. It's like it's unavoidable. It's unavoidable.
Wow.
Disruptors come in. So we'll see where that goes. I think a nice little part of the story is that Paramount and Walmart have had a long-standing relationship. Paramount has a dedicated office in Bentonville, Arkansas, where Walmart's headquartered, because Walmart was the biggest distributor of their. Remember when you had to like buy a DVD if you wanted to see a movie, and it would come out like 10 months after the movie dropped? Right. I try to explain that to my kids. No, you'd see it in the movies, and then you would like have another surprise like a year later, right? When you could pay $24.95 and get it on DVD. Yep. Oh man. Speaking of things coming back.
Oh,
stop. Segue
time. This one we could upset some people here.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think some people are already upset. Apple has told its employees in a letter from CEO Tim Cook that they need to return to in-person work at least 3 days a week starting on September 5th. The employees will be required to be in the office Tuesdays, Thursdays, and one other day that will be determined by whatever team there is on, right? They'll kind of make a group decision about that. It was originally planned, everyone was planned to return in July of 2021, but obviously it's after July 2022. So it was shelved due to activist employees and protests from the CEO, Tim Cook. He says, we're excited to move forward with the pilot. He's a brand. He's a brand guy. He's a brand guy.
Piloting this thing. Everyone's like, I get in the beta. I get in the pilot phase.
We believe that this revised framework will enhance our ability to work flexibly while preserving the in-person collaboration so essential to our culture. We also know that we still have a lot to learn, and we're committed to listening, adapting, and growing together in the weeks and months ahead. He did say in there too that as we navigate this pandemic, I was pretty sure from everything I've heard from every agency with every acronym that they said the pandemic is over. But
you know what?
Apple gets to decide.
I'm going to go back to this in-person collaboration that is so essential to our culture. I'm going to argue this, that the reason why dealers have been so innovative, taking initiative, and be able to navigate the pandemic and the chip shortage faster and with more ease than the majority of businesses out there is because there is an in-person culture that never left. And I think that more people are starting. I mean, I've recognized the difficulty over the past year of not being in person with a ton of it is essential for me to fly and be with people or be with people within our company in other aspects, because the speed of innovation, of thought, of creativity that comes from being in person with people is second to none. And so I think that some companies are recognizing that maybe they got more like core work, task work done, but the speed of innovation and creativity started to leave. And for a company like Apple, that's absolutely not an option.
There's another word. It's community. It's that word again.
He's like, right? If it's not a buzzword, I'm gonna make it a buzzword.
I'm gonna own the word community, just like I own the word clarity.
Trademark.
But I think it's just a great reminder of the gift we were given as retail automotive, being deemed essential because ain't nobody complaining that Apple's not around at the office, right? But a lot of people would be literally paralyzed in life if there were no auto dealers to sell and service vehicles. So it's a complete blessing that our industry was essential, and all the surrounding industries, which means every industry partner, was deemed essential to support the essential industry. It's a gift, and I think we're seeing firsthand the benefit of that as we innovate faster than ever in the history of retail automotive. But that's what's going on over at Apple.
There we go. Hey, we got one more quick one.
Let's get it in. Let's get it in.
One more quick one. And all we're telling you is we found you some people. Okay. Yeah. So Best Buy is announcing layoffs that are including hundreds of jobs at the store level. So if you've ever had a training where you're like talking about Best Buy employees and their ability to communicate with customers and walk them through a sales process, and you're like, if we could operate more like them, then here's your opportunity to go find some of those people, because they're laying off a bunch of people, citing that waning demand and sales are down 11%, which is over double their initial initially estimated sales retraction, that they're having to lay off a bunch of these employees. So go on LinkedIn, Facebook, anywhere where you can find it, and search for those Best Buy employees around you. Maybe ask some friends and see if anyone needs a role.
Maybe let's do a little geo-targeting campaign. You know where the Best Buy stores are. circle the store with the little tool and run ads. If you're a Best Buy employee and you want to make more money and have job security, come work with us. I think it's an exceptional fit for anyone who has a one price model too. I just want to put that out there because Best Buy employees,
one of the best employees went in like within 6 months into management, sold more cars, came right out of Best Buy.
That's
still
right.
in the car business today and crushing it.
They understand merchandising. They understand communicating product features. They understand actually some more contract language than you think because they deal with warranties and things like that. And while you're at it, just circle the Verizon store that's right in the same mall.
Same deal, same thing.
because funny thing about that, one price model, they understand contracts, they know about products, features, and benefits, and they can handle the crying kid in the store that's been in the mall too long. So there you go. Get out there, get there. We're trying to find all the people we can. So there are some people for you. Hey, it's only Tuesday, man. We got a whole week in front of us. So we give you some tips and tricks, but hey, no doubt, go to the LinkedIn page, follow ASOTU, and we're going to start making a lobbying effort of our own.